Based on a 1947 Turkish political poster, what you're about to see is more than artwork. It is ideology turned into imagery, a nation trying to define its future through symbols. This striking poster from 1947 depicts Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, not as a historical statesman, but as a mythic defender of modern Turkey. In the illustration, he confronts a monstrous green creature with 4 snarling heads, each representing the forces that resisted the reforms of the young republic. Religious extremism, anti-modern movements, opposition to education, and demands to restore old imperial structures. The sword in his hand carries one word: revolution. Because to the generation that created this poster, Ataturk's reforms were exactly that, a revolution without myth, fought not with armies, but with laws, schools, language reforms, and cultural transformation. To understand the power of this imagery, we have to go back to the 1920s and 1930s, when Turkey was emerging from the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Society was fractured, institutions were outdated, and the world was changing rapidly. Ataturk believed the country could only survive through modernization, building a secular state, expanding education, empowering women, adopting scientific thinking, handbraking from systems that held the nation back. But these reforms provoked resistance. For many conservatives of the time, the changes were too fast, too radical and too foreign. Some wanted the return of religious authority in politics. Others rejected new laws, opposed women's liberation, or denied secular education. This clash between reform and reaction became one of the defining tensions of early Republican Turkey, and that is why this poster was created. In 1947, more than a decade after Ataturk's death, Turkey was entering multi-party politics. Debates were intense. Some groups questioned parts of his reforms. Others argued they should go even further. Political propaganda erupted everywhere, and this image became one of the most iconic. The 4-headed monster symbolized all ideological threats to modernization. Ataturk, portrayed as a heroic figure, symbolized the republic defending itself. What makes this poster powerful isn't its exaggeration, as it's the truth underneath. Nations are not built only by ideas, but by the struggle for those ideas. Progress always faces resistance, and societies must choose whether to move forward or fall backward. This artwork is more than political theater. It is a reminder of a critical moment in Turkish history, a moment when modernization was not guaranteed, when reform had enemies, and when the legacy of Ataturk was used to remind citizens of the direction the republic had chosen. A battle against a monster, drawn to represent a battle still happening in people's minds.